What would happen if a nuclear bomb went off in the Mariana Trench? Let's break it down without getting too technical. The Tsar bomber, a Soviet nuclear bomb from the Cold War, packed a massive punch, 58.6 megatons of power, promised by Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev. Now, the Mariana Trench, a super deep canyon in the Earth's surface, is about 7 miles, 11 kilometers, deep, filled with water. The Tsar bomber was dropped from a height of 6.5 miles, almost the same depth as the Mariana Trench. Coincidence? Probably not. If we decide to blow up the Mariana Trench, we need to figure out how to get the bomb down there. No easy feat. The water pressure at those depths is intense, 110 megapascals, or 1,100 times normal pressure. A bomb with the usual lead outer layer would just get squashed without going boom.
Has been at the forefront of particle physics, contributing to our understanding of the fundamental forces and particles that make up the universe. The organization has been involved in numerous groundbreaking discoveries, such as the discovery of neutral currents and the W and Z boson particles responsible for the weak nuclear force. The Higgs boson, a particle that gives other particles mass, was a theoretical ghost, a whispered legend in the annals of physics. Its existence was a puzzle that taunted scientists, a riddle wrapped in the very essence of reality. CERN's relentless pursuit of this phantom led to a moment that shook the scientific. In 2012, the Large Hadron Collider finally unveiled the God particle. It was a triumph of human ingenuity, a testament to our unquenchable thirst for knowledge. But the Higgs boson is not the only enigma being probed by CERN.
If you were born and raised on Mars, your physical appearance would be markedly different. Mars is perhaps the most promising option for humanity's eventual colonization in space. However, regarding factors such as gravity, breathable atmosphere, and liquid water, it's not conducive to human survival in its current state. Attempting to traverse the Martian surface without a spacesuit would result in suffocation, swelling, and death due to extreme radiation poisoning within minutes. Indeed, it would not be a pleasant experience. To endure.
What's astonishing is that although the majority of Saudi Arabia's terrain is covered by desert, a surprisingly large number of indigenous plant species can withstand the harsh climate. Now, under the umbrella of the Saudi Green Initiative, efforts are underway to preserve and even increase the amount of vegetation across the kingdom. From its desert vistas in the north to the southern region of Asir, the kingdom is home to an abundance of vegetation, including more than 2,000 wild plant species belonging to 142 families. According to the Saudi National Center for Wildlife, however, about 600 of these species are classified as endangered, and 21 are already thought to be extinct. On the surface, planting 450 million trees may appear ambitious, let alone the planned greening of the desert, particularly in light of the kingdom's rapid urbanization.
A pioneering project aiming to reach Alpha Centauri by utilizing lasers to propel a spacecraft towards its destination. However, the project faces a significant hurdle in Earth's atmosphere, which distorts incoming light and laser beams, hindering the required force to propel the spacecraft forward. Bandhu Tunga, the lead author of the project, proposes employing adaptive optics in reverse to overcome this obstacle. This involves deploying small lasers on satellites to monitor atmospheric effects in real time, enabling more powerful ground-based lasers to maintain precise focus on the space probe. The colossal power demands of the required lasers, totaling a staggering 100 gigawatts, equivalent to the entire electricity consumption of the United States, are daunting. However, these lasers need to operate at maximum capacity for only 10 minutes.
Or what? These final images, processed through layers of artificial intelligence, mathematics, and pure human intuition, have left us with more questions than answers. Are we witnessing the fabric of reality itself? A response from an ancient cosmic intelligence? A mirror of our message, reflecting at us? Or something we've never even imagined? What's clear now is that Voyager's last gift to humanity isn't just data.
Brian Cox's reflections on Oumuamua take us beyond the realm of astrophysics and into a captivating exploration of our civilization's maturity and readiness for potential cosmic contact. It's not just about the celestial object itself. It's about the broader questions it raises concerning our technological and philosophical preparedness to grasp and interpret such phenomena. Cox suggests that UMAMMUA's sudden appearance serves as a test of our technological capabilities. Were we advanced enough to detect, track, and analyze this interstellar visitor? The fact that we could observe it, even briefly, and gather data points to our growing capabilities in space observation and research. Beyond being a technological test, UMAMMUA challenges our scientific paradigms. Its unusual acceleration, unique shape, and trajectory defy easy explanations. UMAMMUA as a test urges us to confront deeper philosophical questions.
Exploration of the depths of space often confronts us with the unpredictable nature of celestial bodies, and the orbit of Pluto serves as an illustrative example of this concept of orbital chaos. This concept refers to the extreme sensitivity of the trajectory of a celestial body to its initial conditions, and is clearly manifested in the case of Pluto. Even small alterations in the characteristics of the dwarf planet can have a considerable impact on its long-term orbit. The use of computer simulations has been a valuable tool for scientists to explore Pluto's motions in space. These simulations employ complex mathematical equations to simulate gravitational interactions between Pluto and other celestial objects, such as Neptune. By modifying small details in these simulations, astronomers can see how even small variations can generate significant changes in Pluto's trajectory. Dark matter is considered to be the secret building block that influences the shape and dynamics of a galaxy. We do not yet know to what extent the dark parts of matter and energy are involved in the formation of visible matter. Researchers are trying to unravel this mystery in facilities such as the Large Hadron Collider in Geneva. But believe it or not, so far, not even the best particle physicists in the world have succeeded in detecting dark matter. JADES GSC 11D0, on the trail of dark matter. With a redshift of Z11, the galaxy JADES GSC 11D0 is somewhat younger than its colleagues, but it's no less interesting. Despite the small difference in age, this galaxy also existed at a time when the universe was only a few 100 million years old. We must realize that these galaxies are just a few examples that have been clearly identified and documented.
Mercury, the planet nearest to the Sun, presents a paradoxical environment. Despite its proximity to the Sun, its surface experiences extreme cold, dropping as low as -180 degrees Celsius, -290 degrees Fahrenheit. The sunrises and sunsets on Mercury are unique within the solar system, and a single day on this planet lasts about 2 Earth years.
Minutes ago, astronomers using the James Webb Space Telescope discovered a galaxy in the Orion Nebula that is 1 trillion times more massive than our Sun and 10 times bigger than the Milky Way. This is just one of 6 gigantic galaxies found, and they're so ancient they appeared only a few 100 million years after the Big Bang, way faster than we ever thought possible. But before we look into these theories, there is an even more significant matter at hand. Recently, Dr. Ken Johnston, a civilian astronaut consultant pilot with NASA during the Apollo landings, has had a lot to say about the Apollo mission and the details about the mission that NASA has hidden. His revelations have caused Elon Musk, a genius technician, successful businessman, and avid lover of space, to identify a number of interesting nuances regarding the mission of Apollo. While Elon Musk explicitly stated that the mission itself was not faked, he raised several pertinent questions relative to events that happened on the Moon and which many have suspected for decades. Since its discovery, the way we study Andromeda has profoundly evolved. We have moved from ground-based observations through telescopes to space observatories like the Hubble and the James Webb Space Telescope. Each advancement in technology has taken us to new heights, helping us understand the secrets of the Andromeda Galaxy. We now have more information and insight into its composition and structure, making Andromeda a benchmark for studying the formation and growth of galaxies. This has shed more light on the broader working principles of the universe.
Have you ever wondered about the hidden secrets in the vast expanse of our universe? The James Webb Space Telescope, in its latest discovery, has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Today, we'll explore a revelation that some believe could enhance our understanding of the universe. From unraveling the mysteries of distant galaxies to potential implications for our grasp of space and time. The findings of the James Webb Telescope have ignited intense debates and raised profound questions about the nature of our existence. These groundbreaking revelations have the potential to reshape our cosmic perspective and challenge our fundamental understanding of the universe. Join us on a journey beyond the reach of any previous telescope as the James Webb embarks on cosmic exploration, promising answers to unimagined questions. To comprehend the significance of the telescope's recent breakthrough, it's essential to understand the concept of the observable universe.
However, as captivating as it may be, there is currently no empirical evidence to substantiate the hypothesis of an artificial moon. While the idea sparks curiosity and debate, it is essential to recognize that it remains firmly within the realm of speculation and theoretical conjecture. In other words, no scientific data or observations definitively support the notion that the moon is an artificial construct. The scientific community remains committed to examining and validating theories based on rigorous evidence. At present, the prevailing consensus is that the moon is a natural celestial body.
Kepler-1649c was discovered, initially mistaken for a false positive. We don't know much about it yet, but its conditions might resemble Earth's. Kepler-1649c gets less starlight, but that doesn't necessarily mean freezing conditions. Even Earth would be colder without greenhouse gases. The atmosphere and other factors could make Kepler-1649c more Earth-like. In the Kepler-62 system,
then, there's the aftermath of a supernova in the constellation of Copia, about 11,000 light-years away, which exploded around 3,140 years ago. The remnants are still visible, fascinating astronomers with the warm dust crucial for planet formation and the birth of life. This dust, made of heavy elements like sulfur, oxygen, argon, and neon, was expelled during the supernova. It glows in beautiful orange and pink colors, giving us a rare look into the building blocks of the universe. Astronomers are also looking at an exoplanet named K2-18, which might have the right conditions for life. The James Webb Space Telescope found water vapor in its atmosphere and detected molecules like methane and carbon dioxide. These molecules, along with a hydrogen-rich atmosphere and possible water oceans, make it a good candidate for life. Even more interesting, they found dimethyl sulfide, a compound usually produced by living organisms on Earth, hinting that this exoplanet could indeed support life.
Detected emanating from the Alpha Centauri system. Remarkably, this signal resonated at a frequency of 982.07 MHz, a deviation from the norm for signals originating from Earth-based satellites and spacecraft. While some experts propose a potential terrestrial origin for the signal, others cling to the dream that it could serve as evidence of intelligent life beyond our planet. The notion of journeying to Proxima Centauri, the nearest planet beyond our solar system, and encountering alien life may not be as implausible as once imagined. The breakthrough initiatives have been tirelessly researching methods to slash travel time from centuries to mere decades. Recent advancements suggest that current technology could surmount the challenge of propelling an object as its mass increases, particularly as it nears the speed of light.
Who was a member of the mission's imaging crew, hadn't been there. Voyager 2's pictures of Neptune and its moons would have been the last ones ever taken by either of the spacecraft. NASA intended to turn off the cameras on both spacecraft once the Grand Tour was formally over. There would have been no photo opportunities after Neptune, only the unending nothingness and impossibly far-off stars. Despite the facts that the project had been extended in the hopes that the voyages would reach interstellar space and had been renamed the Voyager Interstellar Mission, Sagan pleaded with NASA leaders to order Voyager 1 to send one more batch of pictures. As a result, the probe pointed its cameras back toward the inner solar system on Valentine's Day in 1990 and snapped 60 final pictures. Earth was grabbed by the most mesmerizing of them all, known by Sagan as the pale blue dot.
The return of UMWA has caused quite a stir. Multi, a renowned physicist and voice in astrophysics, has sounded the alarm. UMWA's reappearance is not just a routine celestial event. It marks the first known interstellar object to journey through our solar system, challenging our understanding of the universe. Let's dive into this cosmic mystery together. UMWA, initially discovered in October 2017 by the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope in Hawaii, immediately stood out. Its trajectory hinted that it wasn't bound by the sun's gravity, suggesting an origin from beyond our solar system. What further intrigued scientists was its peculiar shape, an elongated form resembling a cigar, unlike any asteroid or comet observed in our solar system. UMWA's reddish hue indicated a possible metal-rich composition exposed to cosmic rays for millions of years.
This is starting to become a mystery. It is amazing that Voyager is still on its mission to boldly travel to new, uncharted territory and glance back as far from the heliopause as Neptune is from Earth. Voyager 1 is currently billions of miles outside of it and moving at a rate of around 1 million miles per day. Now it has just established communication with a highly developed space object. What could this be exactly? Just made contact with unknown object in space. JADE's GSE-12. Did reionization not exist? Actually, the high star formation rates in these JADE's galaxies speak for processes that actually show us a young universe. High star formation rates are consistent with galaxies that are just beginning to develop. What does not fit are the complex shapes of the galaxies and other characteristics such as their size and density. All this speaks against us seeing witnesses of reionization with these galaxies. JADE's GSE-12 could be further evidence that this phase of the universe may not have existed. We must assume that the first stars and complete galaxies formed much earlier than previously assumed. JADE's GSE-12 also existed only a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. Once again, the JWST has demonstrated its unusual capabilities by taking a close look. The Voyager 1 spaceship has recently made one of its most terrifying discoveries. But first, let's see what it has achieved in the last 45 years. What are the achievements of Voyager probes? The achievements of the Voyager twin probes have been nothing short of extraordinary. More than 4 decades ago, their early observations of Jupiter and Saturn's moons left researchers in awe and shattered previous assumptions about these remote worlds. These moons, once thought to be inactive and heavily pockmarked like our own moon, turned out to be teeming with geological activity. Voyager 2, in particular, achieved several remarkable milestones during its voyage. It made history in 1986 by becoming the first spacecraft to fly by Uranus, and just 3 years later, it accomplished another groundbreaking feat with a flyby of Neptune.
After several weeks of consistent patterns in the visual data, Voyager's instruments began to receive what looked like inverted echoes of its scan signals, reflected distortions that shouldn't be possible in the vacuum of space. But what truly alarmed scientists was that some of those distortions weren't random. When translated into waveform analysis, they formed repeating harmonic structures, not unlike the beginning of a musical scale. One researcher attempting to convert those harmonics into audible sound uncovered a haunting sequence of tones, eerily similar to the harmonic scale encoded in the golden.
Speaking of journeys, let's discuss Kepler-452B. It orbits a star at roughly half the distance between Earth and the Sun, but don't worry, it's not too close to become entangled in the star's gravity. Kepler-452b enjoys an advantageous position in its star system. The star is cooler and dimmer than our Sun, which actually works in favor of the exoplanet. Scientists appreciate these types of stars because they provide a nice balance of conditions for potentially habitable planets. Now, let's evaluate just how promising Kepler-452b truly is.
Mars's thin atmosphere would lead to 2 key adaptations. Firstly, lungs would develop into super lungs, capable of extracting trace elements of oxygen from the Martian atmosphere. Secondly, skin would become dark brown to shield against harmful solar radiation. Due to Mars's lack of a dense atmosphere, the planet is exposed to high levels of radiation and experiences extreme cold. Despite this, dark skin would absorb more heat to aid survival during chilly periods.
Apollo 11 lying on the moon was probably the most inspiring thing in history. For decades, we've marveled at the incredible achievements of space exploration, from NASA's Parker probe capturing the sun's outer halo to New Horizons' breathtaking images of Pluto. Amidst these triumphs, one historic mission is unparalleled: Apollo 11. Join U.S. Elon Musk finally admits what we all suspected about the moon. With the Apollo 11 mission, three names ring through: Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Against all odds, these astronauts achieved the impossible by landing on the moon. Recently, in an explosive revelation, Elon Musk confirmed unsettling truths about the astronauts' mysterious encounter on the far side of the moon.
For almost 5 decades, Voyager 1 has journeyed alone through the immense and silent void beyond our solar system. An aging spacecraft drifting farther than any man-made object in history, venturing deeper than any probe has dared. Long thought of as a ghost ship of the cosmos, it silently carries the hopes, data, and memories of a faraway Earth. Enigmatic journey of why, as we delve into another mystery surrounding Voyager 1's final message.
Understanding that this day would come, NASA authorities urged McNaught and his team to develop a plan for a new interstellar expedition a few years ago in order to continue the Voyager's legacy. Their suggested probe would use technology that is either well-established or advanced, and it would cost about as much as the Parker Solar Probe, which was launched at a cost of $1.5 billion. This suggested spacecraft may pass by a dwarf planet on its way out of the solar system, as the New Horizons mission did on its journey to Pluto for the first time in 2015. It might pass past a dwarf planet that we are unaware of.
The typical annual rainfall in Saudi Arabia is only 4 inches. Saudi Arabia is one of the world's water-scarce countries. Even though 97% of its population has access to drinkable water, 500 cubic meters per person per year is the absolute water shortage threshold. Only 89.5 cubic meters per person are produced annually in Saudi Arabia. Even though the kingdom has high water access rates, severe overconsumption and a lack of trustworthy renewable water sources have elevated this problem to a top priority. The most valuable natural substance in Saudi Arabia, in the opinion of many, is oil. However, water is becoming more valuable due to the water problem in Saudi Arabia. The oceans and groundwater, which are quickly depleting, are the 2 main water sources. In addition, 98% of all naturally occurring freshwater is contained in the earth in Saudi Arabia.
This is starting to become a mystery. It is amazing that Voyager is still on its mission to boldly travel to new, uncharted territory and glance back as far from the heliopause as Neptune is from Earth. Voyager 1 is currently billions of miles outside of it and moving at a rate of around 1 million miles per day. Now it has just established communication with a highly developed space object. What could this be exactly? Just made contact with unknown object in space. The uniqueness of Pluto's journey around the Sun lies in its unique orbit, requiring a staggering 248 years to complete a full cycle. Since its discovery in 1930, Pluto has yet to complete a full orbit. The intrigue intensifies when considering the highly elliptical shape of Pluto's orbit, which differs significantly from the nearly circular orbit of the larger planets. The remarkable inclination of its orbit adds an additional component to Pluto's peculiarity compared to the rest of the planets in the solar system, with an inclination angle of 17° with respect to the plane of the ecliptic. Pluto's orbit exhibits immense differences compared to the trajectories of other planets. The combination of this inclination and its elliptical shape adds additional levels of complexity to its orbital pattern. On February 22, 2024, a rectangular prism sent from Earth touched down on the Moon's rough surface. This was quite a significant achievement in space exploration. It was the first time that a spacecraft owned by a private company landed on the Moon. For as long as mankind could look up to the sky and see the wonders of celestial bodies, the Moon has always been an intriguing enigma. Many attempts have been made to explore our cosmic neighbor and learn more about its history and evolution. To achieve this, numerous lunar missions have been tried, with many recorded failures. As a result, when the Moon landing was finally achieved, many remained skeptical, with conspiracy theorists believing the Moon landing was fake.
Voyager 1 uncovered in its last clear transmissions is that this bubble has fractures, zones where interstellar matter seeps in. The plasma beyond the heliopause is denser, hotter, and more magnetized than any model produced.
They were initially designed to exist for only around 5 years in order to visit Jupiter and Saturn. Nonetheless, the equipment continued to function, so NASA added flybys of Uranus and Neptune. The tenacious spacecraft kept on and faithfully reported back to Earth. Although it appears to be empty, the interstellar medium is actually not empty. It's filled with energetic particles like cosmic rays, gas, and dust. We still have a lot to learn about this area of the universe, and directly sampling is basically the only way to fill those knowledge gaps. Assuming nothing malfunctions prior to that time, current forecasts state that the final piece of the Voyager's machinery may be turned off around 2030 or 2031.
Now, let's shift our focus to the James Webb Space Telescope, a remarkable tool allowing us to peer far back in time and make unexpected discoveries from the early days of the cosmos. In a recent study, the telescope found 6 massive galaxies existing between 500 million and 700 million years after the Big Bang, challenging our understanding of the early cosmos. These galaxies, dubbed universe breakers, are much larger than anticipated, with collective masses of stars surpassing several billion times that of our Sun. This discovery, utilizing the telescope's ability to perceive the imperceptible with infrared light, challenges conventional narratives about the formation of galaxies. The James Webb Space Telescope, initially expected to find small, newly formed galaxies, has left scientists puzzled and has the potential to rewrite cosmic history as we know it. Speaking of telescopes, let's shift our focus to 2 more intriguing planets nearby, which belong to the same star family known as Kepler-452. It's as though they're residing in the same cosmic neighborhood.